What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, Bloomberg Economics writes in an article, Trump says he'll drop Mexico tariffs as deal reached on migrants. So, I was just reading it, but it got me real excited because it looks like you guys' dream just came true. The Americans have probably withstood so much, but I think it's come to an end. President Donald Trump said he would drop plans for tariffs on Mexico that he'd been threatening to impose for the past week after the country promised new steps to stem an influx of illegal migration into the U.S. I am pleased to inform you that the United States of America has reached a signed agreement with Mexico, Trump said in a tweet Friday night. The tariffs scheduled to be implemented by the United States on Monday against Mexico are hereby indefinitely suspended. Under the deal, Mexico will expand deployment of its National Guard throughout the country, prioritizing its southern border, according to a joint statement from the two countries. Asylum seekers who cross into the U.S. will be quickly returned to Mexico, where they'll wait for their claims to be resolved. Trump's decision marked a dramatic turnaround after he persistently criticized Mexico for failing to prevent Central American migrants from traversing the country to get to the United States. The decision marks a victory for Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, whose administration had been pressing Trump to drop the tariff threat. The deal preempts Trump's planned 5% tariff on all Mexican imports to the United States that the president said could increase to 25% by October. Holy shit. The decision was welcomed by Republicans and others who warned the tariff would damage the American economy, hurt job growth, and delay or altogether scuttle a trade deal between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, which still needs lawmaker ratification. Mexico is the second biggest source of U.S. imports. Mexico came through, said Senator Chuck Grassley, an Iowa Republican opposed to the tariffs, in a tweet soon after Trump's announcement. Mexico said the deal was reached after several days of talks, including 12 hours of discussions this Friday. Mexico's Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard said the resolution was fair and balanced, and that the United States originally had made more sweeping demands than were a part of the final deal. We reached some middle point, Ebrard said. The tariff threat has rattled markets and prompted economists to forecast an increased risk of recession in the United States, the world's largest economy, because trade between the United States and Mexico is so integrated. An all-out trade war would lower global gross domestic product by 0.8% or $800 billion by mid-2021. According to Bloomberg Economics. The number of apprehensions and people denied entry along the U.S.-Mexico border has been rising steadily. More than 144,000 people were apprehended after illegally crossing the southern border in May or were refused entry to the United States, Customs and Border Protection announced on Wednesday. That's the most in a single month in at least 5 years. The number has grown every month since January. Trump threatened the tariffs on May 30. The same day, the administration sent a notice to Congress to try and kickstart passage of the trade deals that Trump negotiated to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Vice President Mike Pence also spent the day stumping for the deal's passage in Canada. So this is the end of this article, but that's great. That's great news. I don't want to say the F word, but that's great effing news right here. Honestly, this is the news that I like to read. This is the type of news that I like to spread. This is positive right here. This is good for both sides. This is good. This is real good.